The rare emerald parrot sat perfectly still on his golden perch, staring at the ceiling, not the crowd. Guests whispered around him, dazzled by the mansion's marble halls and ocean view windows. Cameras flashed. The rich man beamed. "Go on," he urged. "Show them." The parrot lifted his head, voice bright and practiced. "Welcome to paradise." Everyone laughed. But the moment the doors closed and the last heel clicked away, the bird's wings sagged. The mansion fell silent, too silent. The fountains echoed like empty rooms, and the glass dome above him loomed like a second cage. Alone now, he whispered the words he never said in public. "Paradise shouldn't have walls." The man returned, proud and oblivious, praising how happy his bird must be. The parrot didn't reply. His eyes stayed fixed on the sky, the one place this paradise never let him reach. By morning, the mansion buzzed again with admiration. New guests arrived in jeweled dresses, drifting toward the parrot like worshippers. "He loves it here," the rich man boasted, tapping the golden cage. "He sings only for me." Right on cue, the parrot mimicked his voice perfectly. "Welcome, welcome." The guests applauded. But when the crowd wandered off to tour the wine cellar, the parrot's wings sagged. His eyes drifted toward the giant windows, sealed shut, framed by velvet curtains. Beyond the glass, wild seabirds sliced through the wind, free and effortless. He stepped closer and touched the window with his beak. The cold surface held his reflection hostage, a bird surrounded by beauty, but never belonging to it. The man watched from behind, proud. He didn't notice the way the parrot's chest tightened, each beat whispering the same truth. A beautiful place can still be a cage. The storm arrived without warning. One moment, the mansion glowed with soft lamplight. The next, the ocean wind slammed into the cliff like a creature trying to tear the house open. Rain lashed the windows. The chandeliers swayed. Somewhere deep in the walls, something groaned. The parrot jolted awake on his perch as thunder split the sky. Lightning struck the glass dome above him. A spiderweb crack raced across the ceiling. Before he could move, a shard dropped, slicing through the air and shattering near his feet. He hopped backward with a frightened squawk, wings flaring. More cracks spread, the storm punching through the old framework. Then the dome gave way. A sheet of glass tore free, opening a jagged window to the night. Cold air rushed in, carrying seawater, the scent of real sky, real freedom. The parrot climbed the iron railing, heart hammering. The wind tugged at his feathers, lifting them like hands urging him outward. But he hesitated. Below him, the golden cage gleamed faintly in the lightning flashes, its door still open from the man's last visit. Beyond it, the fire crackled warmly beside the man sleeping in his chair, blankets slipped to the floor. He'd fallen asleep waiting out the storm, unaware of the cracks above his head. Another gust surged through the dome, nearly knocking the parrot off his perch. He looked to the sky, wild, terrifying, and immense. Then back to the man, quiet, aging and trusting. Freedom roared through the opening. But loyalty kept him still. He climbed higher, talons gripping the bent metal frame. For a moment, he stood right at the edge of the sky. His wings stretched, trembling with the instinct to fly. Yet he turned again, one sharp, conflicted glance at the man who had raised him, sheltered him, adored him, and unknowingly caged him. Thunder cracked once more. The parrot froze there, heart torn between two worlds, the storm calling him forward, and the life behind him begging him to stay. The question hung in the air like lightning. Which world did he belong to? The storm pushed deeper into the mansion, wind rattling every window. Loose curtains snapped like sails. Rain blew across the marble floor in thin, shimmering trails. Still perched at the broken dome, the parrot trembled, not from fear of the storm, but from the choice tearing at him. His wings stayed half-spread, unable to commit to sky or safety. A low groan came from below. The man stirred in his chair, then startled awake as another gust hurled rain into the room. He stood abruptly, slipping on the wet floor, and saw the jagged hole above, and the parrot clinging to its edge. "Hey!" His voice cracked. "You're going to fall." He rushed forward but stopped himself inches away, unsure whether to reach out or step back. The parrot tilted his head, pupils wide, feathers slicked by the wind. The man's breathing steadied. Slowly he lowered himself to one knee. "You could have flown already," he whispered. "Why didn't you?" The parrot blinked, chest fluttering. He climbed down the broken frame and glided to the floor, landing beside the man. Gently he nudged his foot, a gesture from when he was young. "That's why," the man murmured. "You stayed. For me." Thunder rolled again, shaking the walls. The man looked toward the shattered dome. He hesitated, then crossed the room and pulled the storm shutters wide open. The full night sky spilled into the mansion, wild and roaring. He turned back to the bird. "I won't keep you here," he said softly. "Paradise isn't glass walls. I should have understood that sooner." The parrot watched him, feathers rippling in the wind. He stepped toward the open sky, then paused, glancing back. One quiet, deliberate word escaped his beak. "Thank you." The man's throat tightened. He didn't reach out. He didn't try to hold him back. He simply nodded. The parrot spread his wings, wide, brilliant, trembling with courage, and launched himself into the storm. Wind caught him instantly, lifting him high above the cliff, emerald feathers flashing in the rain. The man stood beneath the broken dome, watching him rise until the darkness swallowed his silhouette. Not escaped. Not lost but free. The mansion felt different after the storm. Days passed, then weeks. Workers repaired the shattered dome, dried the flooded floors, polished the marble again. But the house stayed quieter. Softer. As if even the walls were learning to breathe without the flutter of emerald wings inside them. The man no longer hosted grand parties. The laughter, the music, the bragging tours, all of it faded. Instead, he spent his mornings on the cliffside garden, walking slowly among the salt-washed stones, listening to the ocean crash against the rocks far below. Sometimes, at sunrise, he'd set a bowl of fruit on the balcony rail, not out of hope, but out of respect. A gesture for a friend who owed him nothing. The neighbors whispered that the parrot must have flown far away by now. "Birds like that don't look back," they said. But the man knew better. One dawn, when the sky shifted from violet to gold, a shadow swept across the glass. A soft rush of air brushed his shoulder. He froze. High above the cliffs, a shape circled, green against the rising sun. Then a familiar voice, carried on the wind, echoed through the quiet valley. "Paradise is the sky." Not rehearsed. Not mimicked but true. The man looked up, a slow smile forming, not of ownership, but of pride. He lifted a hand in greeting, though he knew the bird didn't need to land to understand. The parrot banked once in the air, wings shining, then turned toward the open horizon. His call faded with the wind, leaving only the soft roll of waves and the distant cry of wild seabirds. The mansion remained behind him, walls, domes, chandeliers. But the sky stayed wide. And for the first time, the man finally saw paradise the way the parrot always had.